That's not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, intentionally so.
Yeah.
But,
it is what it isn't.
well, that's a good... Okay, so here's a question for you. Do you consider the Edward Norton Hulk movie part of the MCU or not?
It is. Actually, you know why?
I'm asking if you consider it.
It is.
I'm not asking whether it is or not. I'm asking whether
I'm saying
you
it is.
consider it.
I do.
He's
Okay.
answering your question.
He's
not using your words.
We're setting up.
It is part of the cinematic universe.
Okay.
Because it does have that tie, and it was their second attempt.
Somebody need help getting in the door?
Probably.
So.
No, the camera's on. I'm talking to people who maybe.
Oh, okay. Plus, we might see.
So you consider it part of the MCU because of the Thunderbolt Ross / Iron Man cameo at the end?
And if you notice, there's more ties. They're starting to tie it back in.
Well, with Thunderbolt Ross appearing in
Thunderbolt
Thor,
Ross, yes.
that was probably the biggest tie-in to date from that one. Because I think that's the only other time we've ever seen him.
Yes, it is.
So as you can hear, Ross and Scott are actually talking Marvel Cinematic Universe in the background.
So.
While I'm getting us set up here.
Plus, they make the same deal with universe they do. So when more Hulk movies come out, please know I say when.
I can't believe they haven't made one with Mark Ruffalo because
they hadn't had the distribution situation.
Well, Ruffalo's getting old. If they want to have him in as Hulk, they need to do it in the next 2 or 3 years.
My guess is, or is they're sitting up the movie to see if a Hulk movie would work?
Yeah, because Ragnarok's supposed to have him in it.
Yes.
And Doctor Strange.
So,
He's the old Defenders.
Hans, Booby, I'm your white knight. And for those who tune in on this, this is our attempt at doing the Evil Beagle Movie Club pre-show via YouTube instead of normally what we've been doing in the past. I've been doing it as a Facebook Live thing, but I actually wanted to save these videos and start doing this on the YouTube channel. So tonight's gonna be a little weird, just because we've got some people coming in late. Susan DeHaan coming in from Colorado Springs, so that being the drive that it is, we're going to give her a chance to get here. Sean and Meg, who were here a couple weeks ago for Hawk the Slayer, are coming back tonight. We got Scott Crossan in the house over here. In the kitchen is Chris Parks.
I'm stabbing stuff.
He's currently stabbing things in the kitchen, yes, which is perfectly appropriate for a night when we are watching Die Hard. So, and enter some more people. Come in! Come in, come in! Just, yeah, make the door obey you. Watch out for the camera, because we're on in live right now. So, as I said,
Sean, hi, Meg.
Sean and Meg are here. They're coming in.
Nice hat.
So, oh, yeah, it's, oh,
Goes
yeah,
with my ringtone.
you got to turn around and, yes, check out that hat, everybody. So, yeah, that's more in
A
line for
woman who
tomorrow.
wears a hat like that is not afraid of anything.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Oh, you got our card.
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh.
Yes, we do. All right, so as you can see, we're still getting set up. I'm actually thinking, let's see. Susan's going to be joining Ross there. There's a chair there. Carinn could sit there. Scott, you can sit there. So yeah, I think we're good for seats at the point. But anyway,
Just
so
as long
as
as
you-
they sit behind you, Sean.
we're getting situated.
Therefore, they don't have to see disturbing images.
Yeah, whatever. So,
Pardon me while I take all my medication.
yeah, she's dragging up, which you got to do for Evil Beagle Movie Club, right? So there it is.
Oh, even more so.
Oh
these
man,
days.
Die Hard would be such a much more interesting movie on LSD.
Oh, yeah, I don't even want
I
to.
mean, I love the movie.
That's not part of my cocktail.
I'm just saying, I love the movie, but wow, can you imagine what that would be like, or acid? That'd be crazy.
Yeah, neither of those are part of my cocktail.
I'm not saying they
Mine
were.
are more
I'll be right back.
doctor prescribed type.
No, I was taking that to the extreme. But yeah.
Wasn't Leary a doctor? What was his name? What was the guy? Who was the LSD guy? Timothy Leary.
I don't know.
I feel like I have to entertain you guys now.
Quick, some Doctor Who trivia.
Yeah, the current Doctor is actually older than the first Doctor. Take a look at that. That's what alcohol does to you.
Capaldi is older.
Yes.
What's this?
You mean when he was alive?
Yes.
Okay, you don't mean
When he
In
became the
Shoulda.
doctor,
okay.
It's a peanut
when the
butter
first person that played the doctor,
Oh my God! It's so good.
and Capaldi,
Hartnell.
when Hartnell and Capaldi first became the doctor,
Hartnell was older.
Calder is younger.
Hartnell is younger than Capaldi. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Apparently,
That-
we
that's
moved
what
on
all
to
the hard drinking will do for you.
Doctor Who.
Well, Scott felt he had to entertain the viewer somehow, and
Oh, very good. Actually, Scott is our resident Doctor Who expert. Actually, what's the name of the organization that you?
Mile High Who.
Mile High Who.
You can find us on Facebook.
That's just, I'm sorry, I had to say that. It was funny.
Whovians.
So Scott is
Hi.
Scott is an expert on Doctor Who, and runs How often do you guys meet?
Well, we meet every other Monday. Our big social get is
Twice a
every
month.
other Monday, twice a month at GB Fish and Chips. Our next meeting is December 26th, and it's the one on Broadway.
Oh, very good. That's the night of our Boxing Day, or that's the day where, well, day and night of our Boxing Day.
Yes.
So, Chris, you gonna take over these seats over here?
I didn't know who else was coming.
Just Susan. I think.
Susan is gonna be joining Ross on the love seats. That leaves those 2 seats for you.
Don't think I need to, but okay.
Well, Carinn's going to be in. Actually.
Actually,
No,
no,
she's not.
Okay, never mind.
She says she's gonna hang out in
Then
there.
we have an extra seat.
She hand me the popcorn.
Here's my prediction.
Because Die Hard is definitely a popcorn
I
movie.
want to make this too easy for
Okay.
So, like we talked about, we're gonna start recording these for
They
YouTube,
kind of might
and
be haunting
doing it as a YouTube thing instead of a Facebook
the
Live.
sites when they do the casting.
Okay.
Ah,
Oh my god, that would be great.
That was my first experiment with it.
Here's my prediction.
Well, I want to bring that up.
I would be down with that. You know, I get to meet Louise Simonson.
Yeah.
And talk to her a little bit about Power Pack and
They're not. For one, they're not mutants.
So there's not
True.
food now, but it's in here. Makes sense.
They're talking about doing
That
other,
is insane bad.
other
No,
genres.
I'm gonna eat it.
Okay.
But I'm just saying,
There's
you're
talking-
bad people
there's
for bringing it.
Yeah.
well, once Guardians of the Galaxy succeeded,
Well, it was we were
they could
coming
do
out.
anything.
Meg's like,
They literally
we're
just
gonna
kicked the
blow
door.
Sean right back
wide
up.
the
Right? I'm
hell
like, oh
open.
yeah.
The rumor
I did
is
not.
they're going to do a Western.
Pretty
Marvel
much.
Western.
Marvel has more than enough characters to do a Western.
Yeah,
And the Two-Gun Kid has been mentioned a lot.
Well, typically when you
Agent
think
Shield.
comic book Western, you think the DC guys because they were. When it comes to comic book Westerns, DC kind of had that sewn up. So I'm kind of curious who, aside from Two-Gun Kid, you would do in a Marvel Western.
I don't remember them, but they did have quite a stable.
They had a Ghost Rider.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
original
they-
Ghost
they have a
Rider.
Ghost
They
Rider.
had an old West Ghost Rider.
They have quite a few characters from the '60s.
I'm sure that's true. I'm just saying that I personally always thought of DC as the Western guy, but you're right. I mean, it could happen.
Could happen. Other rumor is that there might be another Howard the Duck.
Okay,
Why? Why, sweet Jesus?
Now, as long
why?
as we're talking, you need to make sure that it can hear you.
Well, just
Is Howard the Duck on the list?
speculation.
Well, he did
Howard
show up
the-
in Guardians of the
Howard
Galaxy.
the Duck
so-
should
I
be on
know,
the
but
list.
that was
And
horrifying.
it is
But I'm
technically
just
part of the
saying,
MCU
is it
now.
on the list?
Because they
Howard
did buy
the
the
Duck?
rights
No.
to it.
No, we're talking about stuff that's not on the list. That's what
Just
we're talking
saying.
about.
But
Now it seems
the
like-
predict.
I ain't putting Howard the Duck on that list.
But my prediction is there will be another Howard the Duck, and it'll be a romantic comedy
What?
written by people who can do romantic comedies, not Spielberg and Lucas.
I don't know, man. I think Guardians of the Galaxy was a huge risk. Howard the Duck is like a magnitude above that.
It's Marvel.
I know, right? I mean, they're known for taking risks. It definitely seems like an escalation.
But at the same time, they are currently owned by Disney. And
That's true, I
Disney
could see a
would
very
probably
Disney
not
house,
take
Howard
that
the
risk.
Duck.
And I can't remember.
There was a big to-do over Howard the Duck and Disney, specifically in the comics, because they had to redesign Howard like 3 or 4 times
They got
to try and make him different enough from Donald that Disney wouldn't get upset. The creator has many times complained about this.
But these are my predictions. That we will sooner or later see Marvel.
Power Pack, I
something
can
similar.
believe.
Power Pack.
Howard the Duck is really out there.
But I'm just making
that's a
predictions.
bold statement.
Well, here's the thing, though. Disney does have a group of writers, and I forget what the studio name is, or their sub-studios, that does romantic comedies.
I'm not saying they couldn't do it, right? I mean, if the question is, could Disney do a good Howard the Duck movie? The answer is yes.
Yes.
My thing is, will they? And that's where I think I'm like, I don't know. That sounds that sounds really out there, even for just speculation. That sounds pretty way out there.
But when I looked at that, I went, but it could be done.
Now, Power Pack is an interesting idea.
I've
I
heard so
imagine-
much about Power Pack.
And
Power
I
Pack would
can
be a very kids-oriented movie, right?
Well, it could be. I imagine. Well, Stranger Things has shown us you can do a kids show that's still really dark and really interesting.
But it's my prediction that Marvel will sooner rather than later will do a Power Pack.
Isn't Power Pack tied up with the Fantastic
No.
Four rights?
No, it's not. The
no,
only
Louis
character that'd
Simonson
be,
created it back in the
the only character that'd be tied up is Franklin Richards, who comes in much later in the storyline.
Really? Oh, I thought he was integral to it.
No, he was
He
a
was
much
later.
later edition.
But he wasn't part of the original.
The original Power Pack was the Power family: Julie Power, Katie Power, Chris Power, and
The Power we all forgot about.
I forget the other guy's name. But they're all members of the Power family, which
Okay.
is why they call it the Power Pack. So yeah, but Franklin came along early '90s.
Yeah, early '90s.
I didn't realize that. I'm not. I guess I'm only vaguely aware of the Power Pack.
Here on the Eagle Beagle Movie Club, you're going to get comic book knowledge too. It's just how it is.
Dude, back in the '80s, Power Pack was good stuff.
Yeah.
It was. I won't say it was great. Like it wasn't like super memorable. Like you won't find people going around saying, "Dude, you remember that great Power Pack storyline?" But as a concept and as an idea, it was well realized as the idea of kids having superpowers. One of the things I loved the most was that the youngest of them was like a 5-year-old girl,
Yes.
4 or 5-year-old girl, and she had one of the most powerful, devastating abilities in all of MCU. Where she basically her power was she could touch a physical object, disintegrate it, and by disintegrating it, create energy that she could then release as an explosive energy ball. They called her Energizer, I believe.
Yes. And you know, giving a 5-year-old the ability to disintegrate and shoot laser beams.
No,
Is
no,
that
no,
terrible?
explosive energy spheres.
Okay, explosive energy, even more terrifying.
Yeah, sincerely, because like the other kids,
Yeah.
like one could fly really fast. Okay, that's
You know-
cool, but it's not like super destructive. And one could like change gravity to be heavier or lighter on himself. Again, not super destructive. And the other one could like get really small or turn into a cloud of mist. Not super destructive. But the little girl was just like, "Oh my god, don't mess with her."
Sounds like a character
Do not screw around with Energizer.
that a GM creates and gives to the nicest person in the group, knowing that that character will not be abused.
Seriously, yeah.
It's like me with psychics. Here, you can be a psychic. Okay. What powers did you get? Oh well, I see it. It's got telepathy,
Ben!
telekinesis. And
Hey! And there she is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the party, pal. So this will be Susan DeHaan joining us, our last person. We're going to do the formal round the room, saying hi to everybody. We'll do our talk-in like we always do, and then we'll shut down the camera. We're going to watch the movie. Then we'll come back after the movie to do the after
I
show,
got you a chocolate.
or post show, I guess.
You've seen Die Hard before, right? You saw Die Hard before, right?
Yes.
Cool. You never know.
All right. Raya,
We can throw that in the.
That'll be enough of you.
if want.
I'm good with
Cool.
all right. So
That's
everybody in here?
Sean Gustafson. That's Meg. That's Chris. Scott Crossan. This is Susan.
So, like I said to her when she walked in, welcome to the party, pal. I am Sean. Everything should be as cool as Die Hard Fannon. You're one of your hosts, my co-host. Ross, if it's movies, I know it. Watson. Tonight, Carinn, it's too loud. Turn it down. Seabolt is actually in the other room. She's catching up on work tonight. Just out of the shot, if I can encourage her to lean forward. Here's Meg and Sean. They were the ones who they were here for the first night when we did Hawk the Slayer. They're back for tonight's Christmas movie. Over in the corner over there, we can't see him, but Chris Parks is here.
Yep.
And Scott Crossan, who we've already established tonight is our Doctor Who expert and also another movie expert. So anyway, tonight's, as I said, Christmas movie is Die Hard. Hans Bulby, I'm your white knight.
By
That's
the
really.
way, that particular line was ad-libbed.
Ah.
And you can see the look on Alan Rickman's face as he's like, the fuck did you just say?
Oh,
Um,
Alan Rickman.
Yes, we definitely take our
We'll
hats off
dedicate this viewing to Alan Rickman.
to the great Hans Gruber.
I do remember that he is.
Because it's just not Christmas until Hans Gruber
I
falls
got to
off.
remind all you guys, you're going to have to speak up because the microphone on that thing is okay, but it is not fantastic. So I'm just going to say, I've done my introductions and we're really looking forward to this. Obviously, I have a personal love for this movie. If you've ever seen the tagline for Shinetar, my epic fantasy setting that I made for Savage Worlds, it actually says it's like Lord of the Rings meets Die Hard, and there's many good reasons for that. I'm going to turn it over to Ross for any of our pre-show stuff that he wants to share.
Well, I think the most interesting thing about Die Hard is that how many films tried to copy it. Later on, there's a great video online you can find under Chris Stuckman where he talks about everybody wants to be Die Hard except Die Hard. There's a very lasting impact that this movie made on action films. You can actually break up movies by the pre-Die Hard period, the post-Die Hard period, and I think there's like watershed films that sort of change everything after them. Star Wars was one, Jaws. This movie, I'd even go so far as to say a recent example being Mad Max Fury Road.
Very, very good. Does anyone else want to throw anything in before we show the movie on?
What was Alan Rickman's first major part in Hollywood?
Speak up, Scott. They can't hear
It
you.
was the Alan Rickman's first major part in Hollywood.
Well, it was a hell of an opening.
Yeah, it's kind of a wow.
All right, guys. Well, on that, welcome to the end of the pre-show. We're going to go ahead, like I said, shut off here. We're going to watch the movie, and when we're done, we're going to come back on live and talk about the movie afterwards. So, thank you, and if you want to follow along, push play on Die Hard, because we're about to.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!
Yeah, this is the R-rated version of you. There you go, because we said fucker 3 times now. All right.